Welcome to Heal You's very first podcast. I'm very excited to finally begin this project. The self-healing space is something I got into unconsciously due to necessity, and if you've read the About Jody page on the Heal You website, you'll know why. Basically, I had plenty to heal, and what I was getting from conventional doctors was just not working for me. My intention for this podcast is to interview great masters in the healing space. Ask them to share their stories. I really want to get to know who they are, how they came to do what they do, and of course, hear about the many miracle healings they have witnessed. Most of the masters I would have had personal experience with. The whole ethos of Heal You is for me to do the trial and error and pass on the information to you. You don't need to reinvent the wheel if I'm out there doing it already. I wish I had a resource like this when I started. A directory of healers you can trust, as well as getting an idea of what to expect and enough information to know if it's the right modality for you. Before I get started, I want to share a fable Kenneth Serez from Insight Timer included in one of his miraculous guided meditations. It really resonated for me in relation to what the Heal You podcast can do for its listeners. Injuries we look to repair through self-healing often arose out of some kind of limited self-belief pattern we picked up along the way. This is a very broad description of a large and complex soup of brain damage we got just from being a human on this planet. But often when you break it all down, you'll find limited self-belief, along with, of course, some of the superpowers like negative self-talk, no self-love, and I'm not worthy. In fact, I'm not worthy is going to be the underlying issue 95% of the time. But the journey discovering how you decided subconsciously that you were not worthy is often where the self-healing journey will take you. That's a spoiler alert. But here it goes. Fable of the Eagle and the Chicken. A fable is told about an eagle that thought he was a chicken. When the eagle was very small, he fell from the safety of his nest. A chicken farmer found the eagle, brought him to the farm and raised him in a chicken coop among his many chickens. The eagle grew up doing what chickens do, living like a chicken and believing he was a chicken. A naturalist came to the chicken farm to see if what he had heard about an eagle acting like a chicken was really true. He knew that an eagle is the king of the sky. He was surprised to see the eagle strutting around the chicken coop, pecking at the ground and acting very much like a chicken. The farmer explained to the naturalist that this bird was no longer an eagle. He was now a chicken because he had been trained to be a chicken and he believed that he was a chicken. The naturalist knew there was no more to this great bird than his actions showed as he pretended to be a chicken. He was born an eagle and he had the heart of an eagle, and nothing can change that. The man lifted the eagle onto the fence surrounding the chicken coop and said, "Eagle, thou art an eagle, stretch forth thy wings and fly." The eagle moved slightly, only to look at the man. Then he glanced down at his home among the chickens in the chicken coop where he was comfortable. He jumped off the fence and continued doing what chickens do. The farmer was satisfied. "I told you it was a chicken," he said. The naturalist returned the next day and tried again to convince the farmer and the eagle that the eagle was born for something greater. He took the eagle to the top of the farmhouse and spoke to him. "Eagle, thou art an eagle. Thou dost belong to the sky and not the earth. Stretch forth thy wings and fly." The large bird looked at him, then again down to the chicken coop. He jumped from the man's arm onto the roof of the farmhouse. Knowing what eagles are really about, the naturalist asked the farmer to let him try one more time. He would return the next day and prove that this bird was an eagle. The farmer, convinced otherwise, said, "It's a chicken." The naturalist returned the next morning to the chicken farm and took the eagle and the farmer some distance away from the foot of the mountain high. They could not see the farm nor the chicken coop from this new setting. The man held the eagle on his arm and pointed high into the sky where the bright sun was beckoning above. He spoke, "Eagle, thou art an eagle. Thou dost belong to the sky and not the earth. Stretch forth thy wings and fly." This time, the eagle stared skyward into the bright sun, straightened his large body, and stretched his massive wings. His wings moved, slowly at first, then surely and powerfully. With a mighty screech of an eagle, he flew. Okay, kids, so that's one way I've heard that fable end. The other way is that the eagle died a chicken and never experienced its own greatness. So the question is, which ending are you going to choose? P.S. PM me if you want more information about Kenneth Soares and Insight Timer. Here are 2 magical free tools to get you started on your self-healing journey. See you later.